It's time to stop believing the lies that keep us divided by race in the United States. Let's start with a few of the basic lies. In almost every discussion about freedom and equal rights, someone says that the U.S. Constitution set the value of each black person at 3/5 that of a white person. They often say that it also guaranteed slavery would continue for at least 20 more years and provided for returning escaped slaves to their masters. Frederick Douglass exposed and disproved all of those lies in 1860, 160 years ago, but they keep being repeated today. The 3/5 clause in the Constitution actually was a penalty against states that allowed slavery to continue temporarily after the Constitution was adopted. It granted Congress the power to abolish the international slave trade 20 years after it was ratified, and slavery was expected to die soon after that. Congress abolished the slave trade as soon as possible, and Thomas Jefferson, who was the author of our Declaration of Independence and our third president, signed it into law. The section that supposedly provided for returning escaped slaves didn't do that. It actually prohibited indentured servants, like one of my great-great-great-grandmothers, who owed service for a set period, from escaping the terms of her contract with the family who paid her way here from Ireland. Democrats, slave plantation owners, spread these lies and many others to discourage voting by people who wanted to abolish slavery. But as soon as Abraham Lincoln was elected, Democrats started the U.S. Civil War to try to keep Republicans from abolishing slavery. When that didn't work either, Democrats invented a second version of slavery using segregation, KKK terrorism, sharecropping, and mob lynchings. When Republican President Dwight Eisenhower signed two civil rights bills into law in 1957 and 1960 to stop Democrat segregation, and John F. Kennedy followed him by proposing a third law in 1963, JFK was murdered for standing up against his own party. Democrat Lyndon Johnson invented a third version of slavery under race-based socialism, welfare, food stamps, and rules that destroyed black families by removing fathers from their homes. Democrats still tell the same lies that Frederick Douglass exposed and disproved 160 years ago, and dozens of other lies because keeping us divided by race is now the key to their control over all Americans. My name is Nick Knoll. I am the author of The War Against Black Americans and Freedom. I wrote this book with the help of K. Carl Smith and help from the wisdom of Frederick Douglass, the man whose picture is on the cover. You can help us make our country as great as our founders established it to be for all Americans. Read The War Against Black Americans and Freedom. It's available now from Amazon.